Capricorn. I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your July 2025 monthly tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at the astrological energies of the month of July and see how you can best use them in your life. We do have big energy, Two of Cups, possibly some type of relationships going on this month. We do have big energy occurring with Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini. It has been in Taurus for the last 7 years. Big movement of shift of energy, as well as retrograde season begins with Neptune, Mercury, Saturn, and Chiron all retrograding during the month of July. So expect slowdowns, Capricorn, and do expect energy shifts to be more of which you need to reflect, reassess, and review what you have been going through in your life. So go ahead and take a look at the description box below, all of the important dates. If you haven't already taken a look at those mid-June through mid-July career readings, I will leave the link below. All right, Capricorn, let's go week by week. Look at that. 3 of Cups in reverse. Remember that 2 of Cups in reverse already flew out. So some type of relationship conversations going on, as well as the 3 of Swords in the reverse. So possibly some healing. By the time we get to the second week of the month, look at that. Strength card, Major Arcana, as well as the Hierophant. Taurus energy here. I do think this is symbolizing that Uranus moving into Gemini and out of Taurus. By the time we get to the third week of July, 4 of Pentacles, money conversations, as well as the 2 of Cups. So the 2 of Cups did come back out. You all definitely have some type of conversations with partnerships, relationships going on here. And look at that. By time you are getting to the 4th week of July, the Tower card, Major Arcana, some big event, news could occur, as well as the 9 of Cups in reverse. So possibly wishes delayed here, especially during retrograde season. That is very common. Let's go ahead and ask Spirit to send you a card representing the energy you bring into the month of July. Spirit, can you send my Capricorns a card representing the energy they bring into the month of July? And you have the 8 of Cups in reverse. So the 8 of Cups is that card of looking for something else because emotionally you are not fulfilled. You are needing to move away from a certain place. This could be physical, like you're moving, but this could also be emotionally. This could be more like needing to end a toxic relationship, needing to move away from an environment that no longer serves you. Or it just could be that you are mentally and emotionally needing to find something new. So keep that in mind. That could have been what you were dealing with back in June, but I do think you bring it into July with that 3 of Swords, 3 of Cups, both in reverse. 3s have to do with communication. So there definitely is a communication lag here with you and possibly your partner. But let's go ahead and ask Spirit to send you one last card, an oracle message. Spirit, please send my Capricorns an oracle message. And look at that. The Magician, number 1. So Archangel Raziel, you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. So this is one of the best cards. The Magician and the Sun, I think, are the 2 best cards in the deck. This is you being able to manifest whatever you want, but also being able to take the reins from wherever you were at that was possibly depressing or having you stuck. You are no longer stuck as you come through July. And I do think this is going to be a month of like sorting things out before you see this magical gift that you are able to manifest. So that's beautiful energy there. All right, so let's make sure these cards are straight for you. All right, so moving into the first week of July, 3 of Swords, 3 of Cups, both in reverse. This is coming off of June 30th when we have Mercury in Leo entering its retrograde shadow. And I will tell you that first week of July could be very interesting because we have Venus entering Gemini on July 4th. We also have Venus conjunct Uranus in Taurus at that 29th degree. So expect possibly financial news going on. But I think also you will have some type of healing that's going on. I do do think you all emotionally have moved away from either a group of people, a partnership, a job, a family members. I do think this Three of Cups in reverse and Three of Swords is showing you where there is a group of you who have been possibly close before, but now you are needing to take a break from each other, or one of you disappointed the others. There's something here around healing from miscommunication, healing from not understanding what maybe the other party was doing. So really pay attention to your friend groups, your colleagues, your family. I do think here, though, it's a positive sign when Three of Swords is in reverse. This is healing, but that Three of Cups in reverse does suggest some turmoil or just some type of conversations that need to be re-looked at. And I do think that as we continue through July and we have this slowdown of communications, especially with Mercury and Leo, I do think this is going to be more that you revisit over the month of July. Okay, so really pay attention to who it is that you come in contact with every day, or who you've been having some maybe miscommunications with. Okay, now by the time we move to the second week, two major arcanas here, the Hierophant in reverse and the Strength card. I was saying in the intro that I do think that Venus coming into, or Venus conjunct Uranus and Taurus, could definitely be some stir in your money houses. But Venus entering Gemini on July 4th and then Uranus entering Gemini on the 7th, this is communication shifts. And I do think that you could expect something in your money conversations, in your work, your job. This could be out in the world, meaning like the collective could have something that affects you with that Hierophant in reverse. But the Strength card is coming through saying you can handle it. Whatever this news is, you can take it. And I do think that that Capricorn full moon on July 10th and then Saturn retrograding in Aries on the 13th, this is going to be this time period where you're really looking at structure. You're looking at whether or not you still want to stay in this type of career, or you want to stay in this type of it just feels like the Saturnian parts of your life that are governed by, like I just heard, HOA. So like if you are in a housing community that you're like, you know what, I'm ready to move out into the country, not have an HOA. There's something dealing with governing processes here that you are like maybe tired of, and you're like, okay, I can step up to this. I can change wherever it is that I want with that Strength card. So I think that that's going to come out right around that Capricorn full moon. And then Mercury does begin its retrograde in Leo on the 18th. So expect communication slowdown here, Capricorn. But I also think that, remember that Two of Cups that fell out in the intro? This Two of Cups comes back again around this third week of July when we have the Sun entering Leo. And then we will also have a Leo new moon on July 24th. During this time, I do think that there's some conversations with you and a partner, or you and a friend, you and a family member, around money. Someone owes money, someone's holding on too tight, like they're being a hoarder, or they're just being like a cheapskate. Like there's something here around conversations around money. Maybe this is a business partner who has been frivolous with money. There's this conversation going on, I do believe, around that Leo new moon. And I want you to make sure you're staying really on the facts, okay? Sometimes in Leo, you can get more expressive. You can start getting into things that aren't really the bare bones of the conversation. So if this does turn heated, or if this is a conversation that's a little difficult, just make sure you're sticking with the facts. I do think the Sun in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius on the 25th could bring up some conversations about loyalty and like, who is this person in your financial world? Make sure that this is the person that you are really wanting to stick it out with, or is it time for you all to part ways? Okay, so I do hear that conversation, but I do think the positive thing is this Magician card that came out. There's this overarching theme, Capricorn, of like, you've got this, like you have all the tools, even if there's some conversations here that go in a different way. Now, I do feel like by the time you are getting to the end of July, the Tower card, major arcana here, this could be when Chiron in Aries begins its retrograde on the 30th, or when we have the Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in Leo on the 31st. There does feel like there's some big announcement, some big catalyst that makes you rethink your desires, wishes, goals, okay? 9 of Cups in reverse is like wishes not coming true, or you rethinking whether or not those goals are really for you. And I do feel like this Tower card is something that will bring up an event or bring up a conversation around whether or not you want to continue on the same path, or maybe it's time to change. Whatever this was back here with that partner, that could have been this conversation that blows up with this Tower card. But whatever it is, once you move past this, you are going to be in a so much better direction. And I think that's the most important part about the Tower card, is like something is getting ready to shift for the better, okay? And so I do think, Capricorn, July is going to be this month of lots of moving parts for you. But I do think that once you get over some of these hurdles, that Magician card comes out with that life is magical and you have the resources to manifest anything. So I hope this is helpful for you. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series. If you haven't subscribed, I would love if you would. Talk to you later.